Hello, Susannah here from the Good Property Company. We sourced over £45 million worth of property for an agreed purchase price of 30 million quid. I've ran a deal sourcing business. We did 270 deals. I ran a flipping business. The first 42 flips that we did, we pulled in £402,000 more than predicted. I have raised millions and millions of pounds and, super importantly, paid it back from private investors. And I now own a large property portfolio, which allows me to live part in Barcelona, where I am right now, filming for you guys, and part in Bristol, a city I absolutely love, where the great majority of my property portfolio is. So before I get into finding builders, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I don't want you missing out on any of the important videos I'm producing that are going to really help give you an absolute boost. So remember, like and subscribe so you get all notifications. Builders. As a property investor, you absolutely need them. We've all heard of terrible builders, con merchants, people being left in the lurch, poor workmanship. I've worked with a couple of those guys as well. You are definitely going to want to avoid bringing these con merchants into your business. I'm going to talk you through recruiting, managing, contracting, paying builders to help you get your A-lister in this video. Let's get your mindset right first. There are two things you need to keep in mind. Most builders are retail builders. You know, the expensive bathroom and kitchen builders, they've got a wait list of 3 to 6 months. They are not your builders. You are looking for builders who service the wholesale market, who understand that whole triangle of speed, price, and quality. So you want a wholesale builder, not a retail builder. And the second thing that's important to really get right in your mindset is you are not renovating for yourself. Yeah? You're renovating a property that is fit for purpose. So don't be using Farrell and Ball paint when Magnolia from B&Q will do, or Johnson & Johnson's. Fit for purpose. By that I mean safe with all certification, targeted at your right demographic, whether you're flipping or whether you're renting out. No cutting corners, of course not, but at the same time being mindful of budget and purpose, which is to run a profitable property business. So now we got those things right in your mindset. I aim for top quartile tenants, top 25% of tenants who actually are generally really great people, paying top 25% of rent. So I need to produce a top quartile product, clean, tidy, stylish, but I don't overspend on refurb. So let's set your expectations on you recruiting builders with some numbers, shall we? 1 in 100. I know. But we've got to be real here. This is how we succeeded. We looked at reality and then we delivered against reality and created systems. 1 in 100 builders that you meet or see advertised is going to be the right builder for you. 1 in 100. So if you just pick the first builder, you're probably going to get it wrong. Keep that in mind so that you don't just make the beginner build of jumping in and grabbing your very first builder untested, because that is an absolute painful mistake for you to rectify later on, especially halfway through a build where you've got to kick the builder off site and you're in pain financially. It's a recruitment process. You are testing out 3 things. Are they a wholesale builder, not a retail builder? Can they deliver paperwork on time? And can they actually turn up? It's probably not what you expected, is it? Those 3 things. Are they a wholesale, not a retail builder? Can they turn up on time? And can they deliver paperwork? So we haven't even tested, are they actually good at their job? Let me explain. Number 1, are they a wholesale builder? Wholesale builders make it easy for you to spot. The profile is usually, they've come out of their apprenticeship, they've been working for a few years for another older builder firm, probably a small builder firm. They're now running their own business with their own contacts. They are hungry, they're early startups, so they don't have the benefit of having been in the market for years and therefore getting great word of mouth. So they don't have a long 3 to 6 month customer list. They haven't got repeat customers. They've got to prove themselves with decent pricing and fast delivery if they want to get paid. They're your guys. The downside, lifespan. It's true for any builder. You're not going to work 20 years with the same builder unless you found an extraordinary guy and you're beyond belief super lucky. The longest I worked with a builder was 7 years, and then he was a bit naughty. As they develop, if they're savvy, they're going to move up the value ladder, they're going to charge more, and they're going to move out and phase out wholesale customers like you and stop being a wholesale builder. They're going to move into the expensive kitchen, expensive bathroom, 3 to 6 month wait list, repeat customer market. So you're going to have them and work with them for 3 to 5 years until they come too expensive for you. This kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, second criteria, can they deliver paperwork on time? Well, hang on, Susannah, why is this even important? Well, with ever increasing regulations for you as a landlord, you need to be sorted with your paperwork, building reg certifications, PAT testing, which is small appliance testing, gas certificates every year, fencer certificates, those are window certificates, electrical certificates every 5 years, and the rest. You will need these certificates both for safety, being within the regulations, but also for refinancing. If you're going to follow the classic buy, refurb, refinance and rent out and pull all your cash back out. So you've done a renovation, you're ready to refinance, and guess what? Because you didn't do proper good recruitment, your builder has not delivered the building reg certification and your mortgage is refusing to pay out because they need your certification first. So if they are not good at paperwork, they are going to hold you back because they're going to put you into a freeze position where you can't sell the property because you don't have the proper paperwork, and you can't refinance or remortgage the property because you haven't got the proper paperwork. So it's really important your builders are good at paperwork. Yeah. If your builder's crap at paperwork, they're going to stop you in your tracks. So how do you check they're good at this? By asking them to send you out written quotes and their insurance documents so you can see how fast they deliver. So yeah, of course I want to check they're insured. And of course I do. And I keep their insurance on file on an annual basis. But more importantly, I just want to see how fast they can deliver it. I'm testing the other stuff. Number 3, can they turn up? I know this sounds really basic, but you're testing, are they any good at diary planning and scheduling? If you think about their job, they're a small scale builder. They probably employ 3 or 4 people in-house. And then they've got a bunch of specialists like probably their plasterer, their electrician, plumber are all self-employed, but kind of on their team for all their bigger jobs. So they're managing time, they're managing schedules, and you're testing, can you schedule, can you manage time, can you not be late, can you schedule appropriately? So how do you test this? Can they deliver paperwork, and can they also turn up on time? Easy if you've got a project already, but what if you don't? What if you're just starting out? Well, if you're viewing a property and you don't yet have it under offer, estate agents are not going to want to be very nice, really accommodate I'd like to turn up with 3 different builders to this property. So I've seen it once, and then I'm going to turn up twice, 3rd time, 4th time with 3 different builders. They're like, get lost. You're totally wasting my time. So if you don't actually have a project on the go right now, can you test, can the builder turn up on time, and can they deliver you their insurance documentations and their quote? Auctions. Auctions publish a 15-minute schedule. So again, you're really testing up, can the builder turn up on time? And they will have 10, 15, they'll have between 0 and like 30 people, depending on where you are and how popular the property is, to turn up on time. So even if you don't actually want to buy that property, because you've never bought a property, because you don't have any builders, you do need a project to test. Can the builder turn up on time? Can they deliver you a quote? So you turn up and tell the builder to turn up on the precise 15-minute slot that property is open, and you're not bothering the auction house because they're going to ignore you because they've got like 10, 20, 30 other customers to attend to. So auctions are the way forward for you at the absolute beginner if you don't have projects to test your builders out. See? There's always a way round. And where do you get your builders? Where do you recruit them? Recommendations are great. But again, if you're brand new, you don't have like a load of friends that are already property developers with builders that they can pass on to you. You need to build a database of builder leads yourself and then go through this process of, can you turn up? Can you do paperwork? And then I'm going to give you the 3rd tip as well. So one simple way is walking around. Do you see, in your neighborhood, are there builders on site? Can you take their cards? Can you go in and can you check, is their site tidy? Which shows that they can work as a team, they can keep a site organized, and they can keep it tidy. Another way that I used to do all the time is take loads of photos of builders' vans, obviously not when you're driving, but if you see them parked somewhere, just send them to your VA, virtual assistant. They put them in a spreadsheet. You follow that process. You have a conversation with them. You ask for their insurance documentation. You eliminate them if they can't even send you their insurance documentation. You ask them to turn up on an auction property. You eliminate them if they can't even turn up. And only then do you get an idea of the quality of their work. and their pricing. Also, by talking to them, you find out, are you a builder that's a wholesale builder or a retail builder? Do you have a wait list of 3 to 6 months? Or are you quite a young guy and you're like mid to late 20s, early 30s, come out from underneath another builder and you're building your list and hungry for business? So you're more like a wholesale builder. So you can do sites like Trusted Trader or Google Reviews, but remember you're looking for wholesale, not retail, and you're more likely to get retail builders on those sites. How do you build an A-lister team? Here's a really great tip for you. You never want to be left without a builder. I have had that position and it's incredibly painful. So always recruit more builders than you need. So you're always at point of choice. We used to always have 3 builder firms that we worked with. One used to do 100% of the work for me. 2 would do about 50% of the work for me. But at no point did I just kind of sit back in my laurels and go, all right, I've got 3 sets of builders, I'm sorted. I was always aware, with hoping obviously it would never happen, that every working relationship, and in particular builders' relationships, have got a lifestyle cycle. So whether it's 1.5 years, 1 project, 7 years, at some point you're going to part ways because of price, quality, or speed. You are. They're going to be dissatisfied. You're going to be dissatisfied. You're going to need to get a fresh member of the team and in order to continue a good quality business. So even when we had 3 builders on the go, we always had 9 builders I was testing out. Can they turn up for new projects? Can they give me written information? Can I see their insurance documentation? As well as, can I go on their site and see that it's a clean and tidy site? Traits to look out for. Teamwork. I can't use the word bitching in case you're watching with kids, but you know what I mean. Builders and trades, what I think one of the worst downside, no, not all of them, some guys are amazing, but a lot of them really love blaming the previous person that's done the job. Because, building, it's like a scheduling process. There's first fix, second fix, da-da-da-da-da. So we once had a painter, I was speechless. He painted the whole house. It was a terrible finish. And then I was like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not paying you until you rectify this finish. It's really gritty. You've painted without cleaning. And he was like, it's not my fault. I didn't clean. It was the plasterer left a mess. Well, teamwork would be like, and pride in the job would be like, I'm going to now clean this site, or phone Susannah and tell her she needs to get a cleaner in for this site if I consider it's beyond me. And I'm only going to do a really good job and be proud of my work. So you don't want people who are not team members, who love to blame, pointing fingers. And then the second part I've already hinted at, you want them to have absolute pride in the craft of actually building. We want a geek. We want somebody who loves his job and takes pride in delivering well. We want somebody who'll sit there for 10 minutes and proudly show you photographs of their previous jobs, proudly have you on site, like just proud of their work and wanting you to appreciate their work and talk through what they did to get to that position. We want somebody who enjoys creating a great finish, don't we? So how do you not get ripped off by builders? Because, you will occasionally find builders who will try and rip you off. I've had 3 scenarios where I've definitely lost money through their dishonesty. You learn. So contracts. I like you to use the JCT Minor Works contract from the JCT website, Joint Contracts Tribunal. It's a fair contract. It helps you identify when to pay after certain milestones. It always keep 10% away for snagging and agree if you want penalties. I don't normally put penalties in if the project's under 50 grand, because your builders, it's not going to be worth their while coming back or being fined, if you like, for penalties. They're just going to walk off site. And yes, you could, in theory, take legal action against them because they didn't deliver on the contract. But the reality is it's going to cost you more than it will to bring in a new builder. So that's just my personal preference. You might decide you want penalties on contracts under 50 grand. I don't tend to. So how do you get a great builder to deliver a great project? Well, this is where you need to be a great client. Think about everything you want in advance. How many plugs, how many toilets, location of every aspect of the plumbing, the heating and the electricity. If you're new, you'll do this with your builder. You don't need to be like the person who knows everything within building. That is their job, but you agree everything with your builder in advance. Spec it out in writing. And I've found with the average house renovation, I also walk through with my builder on site with a pencil and I mark the walls as well as speccing it out in writing. How often are you going to be on site? I like you to be on site quite frequently. And how do you work with them? I'm usually on site when there's a renovation going on. I don't spend long though. I'm literally just checking up, saying hello, and off I go again, checking for any glitches, any questions that need solving there and then, and having a BDI on. Are you turning up? Are you working? There's an awful lot of mobile phone and fag breaks going on. I obviously always do a fixed price contract, but if you've ever got someone on day rate, So I'm on site 2 to 4 times a week, very briefly. I don't look to make any changes. I'm just making sure the spec is done correctly and check there are no shortcuts. And how do you work with your builder? Well, for me, I always find that kind of shoulder to shoulder is really, really useful. You pose a problem or a question, how do we do this? And then shushed. To be quite honest, silence. Wait for their answer. Wait for them to think it through. Often you'll find that builders are really quite physical people, so they like being on site physically. So if you're asking them to express themselves in a different way through thinking and through expressing verbally, let them just get that cognitive function going, and then they're going to start thinking it through. So pose a question, don't fill the gap, and then hear their answer. Usually it's very good. How do you work with your builder and building regs? Building regs are super important. I'm going to do other videos in fact, I've already done other videos for you guys on it already. If you don't pass building regs, you won't get mortgage funding. So it's pretty damn important. I found on a normal refurb, whilst in theory it's the builder's responsibility to give you the building regs, I always spec it in the contract that it's their responsibility. I'd still make sure you're on site when the building regs inspector visits to understand what the building reg needs firsthand. I've seen too many people mess up not following this simple tip. All right, safety. Hang on, Suze. I thought it was the builder's responsibility to be safe on site. Well, no, yes, no, yes, no. You only find that out when things go wrong. You may not know if you're a beginner investor, but construction is really quite a dangerous occupation. Whilst on small scale renovation, if you think you're exempt because you're small, but if anything goes wrong, you do not want to find yourself in court. A friend of mine got fined £22,000 on a small renovation project because somebody had a finger injury and the tradesman sued him, even though you would logically think, hang on, but the tradesman made the physical mistake. So you need to be aware of things like CDM, construction design management, regulations, make sure you appoint the correct people, you've got the correct paperwork, you've got your builder as the main contractor, that they keep a health and safety site across the site. They've got the right signage, they've got fencing, they've got proper toilets, and they've got safe working practices. So you want to appoint them as the person in charge of health and safety, not you. Do it correctly. I've got stuff on my website that helps you. I've got, in fact, particularly any of my bundles or academies that's got the property development masterclass, that's got everything you need, £6,000 worth of health and safety information. And you want to make sure that your builder is appointed, but you need to still make sure that they're doing it correctly. So I know it's quite a long video for you, but I'm giving you helpful tips and knowledge for you to understand how to find, how to work with builder, and how to make sure projects come out successfully. Why? Because building and renovating is a super creative process. It adds value, and as a property investor, whether you're flipping or whether you're keeping, understanding builders, managing them is a super important skill for you because you're going to grow your wealth. Useful video, yeah? Make sure you subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss out on other super useful videos like this. Like as well, because that will help other people see this video, and that's really nice to you as part of the property community. And if you want to put a comment, I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Also, I'm going to pop you a free something to download now, so go ahead and download that and have a really great look at my website. It's called thegoodpropertycompany.co.uk. It is stacked full of really useful information, useful knowledge, useful education for you to get started in lots more detail and systematized and easy to go through than my videos. So I'm going to just say good luck to you, and I wish you every success in property. I hope that vid was really useful to you. I got more free stuff that's going to be super useful to you. I got free downloads. This one over here is the buy to sell posing kit. Download it, checklist it, make sure you've got everything you need for buy to sell.